Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Learn and Talk podcast, where we combine real-life skills with practical English. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that is essential for success, self-discipline. Daniel, why do you think self-discipline is so challenging for many people, even when they want to achieve their goals?
Great question, Emma. Self-discipline is hard because it requires consistent action, often when we don't feel motivated. Many people rely only on motivation, but motivation comes and goes. That's why understanding habits and routines is so important.
Exactly. And in today's episode, we won't just talk about self-discipline. We'll also teach you modern English phrases, grammar, and vocabulary that you can use in real life. Whether it's work, study, or personal goals, you'll learn how to express your progress confidently in English.
Before we start, make sure you like this video and leave a comment. Tell us, what's the one area in your life where you want to improve discipline the most? Your feedback helps us create lessons that really work for you.
Let's dive in and learn how to build self-discipline daily, step by step, while practicing English naturally. Daniel, many learners struggle to build self-discipline because they don't know where to start. From your experience, what is the first step to developing daily self-discipline, and how can learners describe this in English using proper grammar and vocabulary? Please include phrases like set goals, start small, and daily routine. Also, show how to use present simple and sequencing words like first, then later.
Emma, starting with small, achievable steps is the most effective way to build self-discipline. A daily routine is your best friend. You can't suddenly overhaul your life. Instead, you focus on creating manageable habits. In English, learners can describe the first steps using the present simple tense. I set small goals every day. I follow a simple morning routine. Sequencing words make routines easy to explain and understand. First, I wake up and drink water. Then, I review my tasks. Later, I focus on my most important work. Phrases like start small and set goals are essential. I start small to avoid feeling overwhelmed. I set daily goals to stay on track. Learners can also use modals to express necessity and advice. I should stick to my routine every day. I need to complete small tasks consistently. It's important to connect cause and effect. I set small goals because it helps me stay motivated. I follow my routine so I build discipline gradually. Expressing progress in English helps reinforce self-discipline. I'm improving little by little. I feel more disciplined each week. By using these structures, learners can communicate how they start building self-discipline clearly and confidently, while practicing grammar and modern phrases that are useful in everyday life.
Daniel, motivation often disappears after a few days, and learners get discouraged. How can people maintain self-discipline even when they don't feel motivated, and what English structures and vocabulary help learners express this challenge clearly and professionally?
Emma, this is a very common issue. Self-discipline is not about relying on motivation. It's about creating systems and habits that work automatically. When motivation disappears, habits take over. English learners can explain this using present simple to describe regular actions. I follow my routine even when I feel tired. I study English every morning, regardless of motivation. Modal verbs show necessity and choice. I must complete my tasks to reach my goals. I should practice consistently, even when I don't feel like it. Useful vocabulary includes words like consistency, habit, routine, and commitment. Phrases such as, I rely on habits, not motivation. Discipline helps me stay on track. Learners can also use contrast words to show awareness. I feel tired, but I still follow my plan. Although motivation fades, I continue my routine. Future forms help express commitment and long-term planning. I will keep practicing every day. I am going to stick to my schedule this week. Talking about challenges professionally can sound positive rather than negative. I face distractions, but I manage them effectively. I sometimes struggle, but I stay committed. By using these grammar structures and phrases, learners can communicate how they maintain self-discipline, even under challenging circumstances, sounding confident and natural in English.
Daniel, many learners give up because they try to change too many things at once. How can people gradually strengthen their self-discipline over time, and what English phrases and grammar points help learners describe their progress clearly and effectively?
Emma, building self-discipline gradually is key. Change should be incremental, not overwhelming. Start with one habit, master it, and then add another. This prevents burnout and builds confidence. English learners can describe gradual progress using the present continuous tense. I am improving my focus every day. I'm learning to manage distractions better. Adverbs of frequency like usually, sometimes, and always are helpful. I usually finish my tasks before lunch. I sometimes adjust my routine if needed. Learners can also use sequencing words to explain progress. First, I practice discipline in the morning. Then, I apply it to work tasks. Later, I focus on personal habits. Phrases like step by step, little by little, and gradually are essential. I build my self-discipline little by little. I improve step by step to avoid feeling overwhelmed. Cause and effect sentences show logic and awareness. I start small because it helps me stay consistent. I follow one habit at a time, so I don't get frustrated. Finally, positive language reinforces confidence. I am becoming more disciplined every week. Each small habit strengthens my routine. By combining clear grammar, practical phrases, and positive expressions, learners can describe their journey of self-discipline effectively and naturally in English, making progress visible and achievable.
Daniel, many learners struggle to stay consistent because life is unpredictable. How can people adjust their self-discipline strategies when unexpected events happen, and what English grammar and phrases can they use to describe these adjustments naturally and confidently?
Emma, life is full of surprises, and self-discipline must be flexible. Being consistent doesn't mean rigid schedules. It means having a plan that can adapt when necessary. In English, learners can use conditional sentences to describe adjustments. If I can't follow my routine, I make a smaller plan for the day. If something unexpected happens, I adjust my schedule. Modal verbs are useful to express possibility and necessity. I might need to reschedule some tasks. I should focus on priorities when changes occur. Adverbs and phrases like sometimes, as needed, and when necessary make the language sound natural. I sometimes change my routine to stay on track. I complete tasks later when necessary. Learners can also use present continuous to describe ongoing adjustments. I am adapting my plan as things change. I'm learning to be flexible while staying disciplined. Using positive framing is key. Unexpected events give me a chance to improve flexibility. Adjusting my plan helps me maintain progress. By combining these grammar structures, phrases, and positive vocabulary, learners can communicate confidently about self-discipline even when life is unpredictable.
Daniel, many people think self-discipline is boring or restrictive. How can learners make self-discipline enjoyable, and what English expressions and grammar can they use to explain their daily habits in a positive and motivating way?
Emma, self-discipline doesn't have to feel like punishment. It can be enjoyable if we connect habits to personal goals and rewards. Learners can use present simple and adverbs of frequency to describe enjoyable routines. I usually start my day with a motivating activity. I always reward myself after completing a task. Sequencing words help explain habits clearly. First, I plan my day. Then, I practice English. Later, I take a short break. Positive phrases make routines motivating. I enjoy small wins every day. Building habits gives me energy and confidence. Modal verbs can describe benefits and choices. I should celebrate progress to stay motivated. I can make discipline fun by adding variety. Learners can also use present continuous for ongoing positive actions. I'm creating routines that make me happy. I'm improving my self-discipline gradually and enjoyably. Using these structures, learners can talk about self-discipline as a positive part of life. It shows that habits and consistency are not restrictive, they are empowering, practical, and motivating.
Daniel, many learners struggle with distractions when trying to stay disciplined. How can people minimize distractions in daily life And what English phrases and grammar structures can they use to explain how they manage focus effectively?
Emma, distractions are one of the biggest obstacles to self-discipline. Minimizing distractions starts with awareness and planning. Learners can describe their strategies in English using the present simple for habits. I turn off my phone while studying. I create a quiet workspace every day. Modal verbs help express necessity and advice. I should avoid social media during work. I must focus on one task at a time. Sequencing words make explanations clear. First, I remove distractions. Then, I focus on my most important task. Later, I take a short break. Phrases and vocabulary for modern English include: I stay focused by limiting interruptions. I block time for important work. Distractions can reduce productivity, so I plan ahead. Present continuous can show ongoing effort. I'm learning to manage distractions better. I'm practicing focus every day. Using these grammar structures and phrases, learners can clearly communicate how they stay disciplined and productive, even in a busy, distracting environment.
Daniel, some people set goals but fail to follow through. How can learners improve goal setting as part of self-discipline? And what English grammar and phrases help them explain their progress and commitment effectively?
Emma, goal setting is crucial for self-discipline, but goals must be specific, measurable, and achievable. Learners can explain goals using present simple. I set one main goal each week. I track my progress daily. Sequencing words are useful to show the process. First, I decide on a goal. Then, I break it into smaller steps. Later, I check my progress. Modal verbs express commitment. I should review my goals every evening. I must stay consistent to reach my objectives. Phrases and vocabulary for modern English include: I monitor my progress to stay motivated. I adjust my goals if necessary. Setting realistic goals helps me stay disciplined. Present continuous can describe ongoing commitment. I'm working on my goals every day. I'm gradually improving my self-discipline through small steps. Using these grammar structures, sequencing words, and positive vocabulary, learners can explain how they set and follow through on goals, showing confidence and control over their daily discipline.
Today, we explored the essential skill of self-discipline and how it affects every part of our daily life. From setting small, achievable goals to managing distractions, maintaining motivation, and gradually improving habits, we've covered practical strategies that anyone can use.
Exactly, Emma. Self-discipline is not about being perfect. It's about consistency, flexibility, and small steps. By building routines and adjusting to challenges, we can make self-discipline a natural part of our daily life.
And the best part is that while learning these skills, you also practice modern English phrases, grammar structures, and vocabulary. This way, your English grows alongside your personal growth.
Remember, progress matters more than perfection. Celebrate small wins, adapt when needed, and continue building habits step by step.
If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Tell us what part of self-discipline you want to improve most. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you for joining us on the Learn and Talk podcast. Keep learning, stay disciplined, and make every day productive.